Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you as we kick off a really big 4-day race week here in Hollandale Beach. We've got a lot of races. Unfortunately, as you were with us last week, we had to unfortunately cancel for 3 days. We came back on Sunday and that was great, but we were making up a lot of those races, which is pretty cool this week. And Saturday, Rainbow Six is going to be front and center. If we get there, there is $550 in the estimated jackpot today on a 9-race card now. 9-race card on Thursday, and you can see it there. But if we get through 2 racing days clean and unscathed, Saturday on that 13-race, I use the word bonanza, Rainbow Six will be huge.
I think bonanza is
like
a great way to describe it, yeah.
4 million, I think, is what they're prognosticating.
I don't think that's a word.
Yeah, that's a word.
All right.
Absolutely. They'll be huge on Saturday. Estimated pool, again, if we get there on a mandatory day, 4 to 5 million. 13-race card on Saturday, so the Rainbow Six will be the last 6 races on that card. And, of course, we're going to talk about it a lot. We're going to have videos. We're going to have previews. Ron has already tweeted his Rainbow Six ticket out on Saturday, and he'll be with us tomorrow. And, of course, we'll finalize that, but really looking forward to that. Really tough sequence, too.
Yeah, it's I don't want to call it impossible, but it's close to it.
Very, very difficult, and a lot of good quality races as well. And we've got 9 of them for you, as I mentioned today, on a fast main track. We're off turf a little bit. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back on the turf on July 5th. The planned break is now upon us, so we'll be back on the turf July 5th when we go to a 3-day race week. But we've got the early pick 5 kicking off in race number 1, and we'll take a look at that now. I've got a $48 ticket because, well, I guess I can't, maybe you did the math on this.
Yeah.
The maths on this is $64 ticket. Thank you, boys. Upstairs, and no scratches for me today. So this kept intact. A little bigger than I would normally give out, but we're trying to build that bankroll. And you can see I've got no strong opinions in any of these early races. My long shot is in race number 2. That is the 6 Mrs. Bradstreet in race number 3, the 2 Tap Gold. So the reason why I went a little deeper as well is because I've got value in all these races. And so I think I can do so in race 4, the 6 Frank's Mimi, and then in race number 5, I'm not looking to try to beat Ford Attitude today at a very, very short price as my anchor. $64. We'll get into the opener now. This is one of the races we brought back from last week. We'll go 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are maiden $25,000 claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. It's a clean race. Very few meaningful scratches. Did you lose much today?
Every scratch there was, it was a top pick of mine.
Get out.
I swear. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I lost best bet, lost long shot.
Wow.
I know. I was really hit with the scratch bug today.
I think I lost a 4th place finisher.
Wow.
So, okay, well, you didn't lose anybody in race 1.
No.
We know that. And you're going to go with Wicked Legacy. The first stir, we've got a stat, and you've got a video to show, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we do. I wanted to show this XBTV work. There's not a whole lot going on, but this is just a horse that... working on the inside here, this was over a month ago, but what I like about this filly is that 1, she's fit, 2, she's very straightforward. I just like a horse that is just on cruise control in a work like this, and I don't pay too much mind to the time because it's just the way that she does it very easily, very nicely, and I think that in a race like this, you're allowed to kind of go for something a bit different.
Yeah, I don't question that at all because the favorite, Hub City, is, well, morning line favorite. Here's a stat, too. 20% first-time starters making claimants in. It's not bad at all.
No, not at all. This is a barn that's just super high percentage. It doesn't really reflect it so much right now because, of course, Jorge Delgado took a lot of horses to Monmouth Park.
Yeah, very cold barn right now, but as you said, took some horses up the shore there. I was never picking the morning line favorite very early in the betting. Good to see your horse live, at least right now, but there's no money in there just yet. I took a shot with Harmony Abario, another first-time starter. These can be very clever, crafty connections.
Yeah, they definitely can. This horse at the 2-year-old sale last year were 10-3, and it was 59 degrees out, so chilly. It was a pretty slow time, but that was last year.
Yeah.
So
what do you get?
Yep, exactly.
There are a slew of work showing, but
Yep.
we'll see. Zoya's Faith ran well on debut. Hub City, I'm sorry, did not run well at all. 90 cents on the dollar.
Nope, not at all. This horse is really you see it's just a fade for the win category.
Couldn't agree more. Star Performance is the horse that popped in that was not in this race initially. She's a big threat for Jenna Antonucci. Necked out at the level last time, beating a half length at the level the time before.
Yeah.
You got the early pick 4 today, and going forward, we'll go a mile on a fast main track here in race number 2. These are 12-5 maiden claimers, a scratch of the 7. Miggy.
Yes.
Did you have Miggy on top?
I did not. It was
Okay.
a 4th pick for me, but not on top.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a small play for me here, but I feel like that's the way to play this thing. Race 3, I do scratch into the 3. That is Hoping Him, but using a couple of others as well. Race 4, the 2, first shot fired on top, and in race 5, the 5 for Attitude for me.
Yeah.
A $4.50 play, punch it a couple times, and let's see if we can get lucky.
I like it. We'll start with you with Spanish Girl for the Garcia barn. This is a horse that ran okay. This is a tough race. There were a lot of horses in this race that were giant prices in their last starts that fit very snugly today.
There's a lot of races this week that I do not envy you for being the morning line maker. That is for sure. This is a race where if you're not going to single in on one, you've got to take close to all of them, and on your ticket you could see, and that's probably the way to go here. Spanish Girl coming out of that awesomely wild race. She's not much, but she showed some life.
This is my long shot for the very reasons we've hinted at. Now, draw a line through Mrs. Bradstreet's last start where she tossed the rider. I'm looking at the turf race 2 back. She's done nothing but run on the turf and at 2 turns. This is kind of a Samantha move. We'll try a new surface today.
Yeah.
I like the tactical speed she showed 2 back, and Skylar Spanabel has consistently put horses into races. If you're into this race early, I don't know, you have a chance in here.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong about that. Yeah.
Right? Awesomely Wild is 8-5 on the morning line. Well, maybe I'm way wrong. I don't know. She was 40-1 last time. She's legit. She could be odds on if she feels like running that race back.
Yeah, if she runs that race back, I think she'll probably win this race.
Yeah. Can you trust her? Absolutely not. But it was her first main track start since her debut, and it was her first route. And if you just view it in and of itself, it's way better than anybody else.
Agreed.
Here. It's as simple as that. Race number 3 is a good one. It's a starter optional claimer on the Tapeta. These are 5 furlongs for the 4-year-olds and up. A scratch of the 4. Uncle B took a little heat out of this race. It's the rematch between Hoping Him and Adios Asher, and you can talk about it now.
Well,
I've got to show it to you.
Yes, I do. We'll show this last replay here. Hoping Him we know so well down here.
Yep.
What a cool horse. There's no surprise on his tactics. It's to go. He beats the gate every time, and he runs very, very well. Now, Adios Asher just nailed him right at the wire here. Now, I didn't want to pick either of these. Uncle B was my long shot. I think that there's a lot more heat in this race than Hoping Him got last time.
So I have a theory on this race. This was the first time Miguel had ridden him, and this is going to sound maybe silly, but I almost wonder if Hoping Him went too slow last time. Because what happened was, when Hoping Him going 45 is like, me jogging to the parking lot. He can do that in his sleep.
Yeah.
Well, he's ridden him now, and that was 5.5 too. But I feel like he's going to go a whole heck of a lot faster. Today.
That's a fantastic point.
Because he can. Adios Asher. This is the redraw now, by the way. They would switch post positions last time. Adios Asher's very fast too. He just beat him. You saw him. He's to the outside. I always had Tap Gold on top. He may get run off his feet a little bit. I get it. He was chasing and showing some speed, routing. You said it perfectly. Boy, there's a lot of speed in here.
Yeah, there is. And a horse like Tap Gold could just fall a nice stalking trip naturally.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. Rohan's got Elijah Greenidge aboard with a little bit of a weight break as well, getting 12 pounds from a Hoping Him. Adios Asher, can he go back to the well again after running so hard in an effort that, quite frankly, came from nowhere?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's a head scratcher.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I'm just maybe trying to get a little crafty here. Let's take a break. 3 down. We've got 9 of them for you on Thursday. So when we come back, Ron's got his Rainbow 6, $550 in the estimated jackpot. Stay tuned.
And they're off. Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to drf.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. 9-race Thursday card here in Hollandale Beach. We hope to see you out here. Big weekend coming at you, though. 13 of them on Saturday. And, of course, the mandatory Rainbow Six. If we get there, we're speculating between $4 and $5 million. But Ron Nicoletti will be with us tomorrow. He's got his Rainbow today. $550 in the estimated jackpot. And the pool will be huge because, as you know, and we all know, these are times when people get involved and they try to jump the gun and sweep it, scoop it, and it's out there today and it's out there tomorrow, and pools are going to be massive. So we're going to take a look at Ron's ticket now. He's already tweeted his Saturday ticket out, I believe, as well. We're going to have countless videos and analysis. The morning line, I think, is coming out. It's been done. I think we're going to see that shortly as well. And here we go with Ronnie's ticket, $28.80 for Ron.
The single is at the very end. He's got in the later stages of the card races 7, 8, and 9. Race 7, the 3 Truth and Honesty, as well as Jackson's Web, and the 8 Warlord Cruzon. Race number 9. There you see his single there. That is Great Venezuela. I scratch into this horse.
You didn't have her on top?
No, my best bet was in that race. I was really hit with the scratch bug today. Yep, but Great Venezuela, she runs the races last time. She'll be tough to beat. It's a 28.80 play.
Yeah, this is a sequence where you could have a lot of fun early because there might literally be a 1-5 favorite in the finale, especially with the scratch of Warda. Let's get into it now. We'll start it here in race number 4, another one of the races that was brought back. We'll go 1 mile and 70 on the Tapeta here. These are maidens, 3-year-olds and up. The tag is a quarter. Scratch the 4, RR Empire. And you are on the 2, first shot fired. I think this horse has got a big say now on the stretch out, first time routing on Tapeta.
Yeah, and I think that bodes very well for this colt here. I like the fact that they get this horse back on the Tapeta, honestly, because the grass race, I think they just took a shot. I'm not a big fan.
You gritted your teeth when you said this colt here.
I do that just naturally. It's like rolling your eyes. You don't even realize it. $25,000 claimer at the end of the day. This horse hasn't really done much since the claim, but I think it's significant what you said. First time routing on the Tapeta.
I have sat next to you too often, I guess, because Frank's Mimi is my pick, who's now going to try Tapeta for the first time after a very, I thought, solid turf try last time. And as you always say, and as I've definitely come around to, first time on a surface could be a big one.
And he scaled it.
And he scaled it. Well, you got him in the mix. We just got the
Yep.
exacta reverse and Crow Motion, certainly a player as well, a good post, and going to route on Tapeta for the first time in a bit. And I'll tell you what, that comeback race, really good.
Yeah, it was. I agree completely. And, well, watch these earlier races today about how the Tapeta is going to be playing, too. I felt like on Sunday the rail was good. Did you feel that way?
Inside it's not
Typically,
but I do feel like it was better than most days.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It was
So maybe
interesting.
something to take note of, and we'll see how it plays out, not only today but throughout the weekend. We did get some rain over. We got some rain. I got a lot in Fort Lauderdale. I know that. So we'll watch these races and see what's going on. Race number 5 kicks off the late pick 5. We'll take a look at Samantha's ticket now before getting into this one.
Yep, and like I said, I lost some key players here, but this race we'll get into. Race 6, I do have the 5 on top, Bella Carmelina. Race number 7, the 1, Rocca Cruz. And take note of how this horse runs, because we've got a couple coming back on Saturday. I think in the mix of the Rainbow Six sequence. Race 8, the 8 on top for me, Lieutenant Stan. And then I lost my best bet in the finale. See, my ticket would have been a rainbow sweeper if I beat Great Venezuela. But now I've got her on top. Warda was my best bet today. So we'll see. $13.50.
All right, there it is there, and we'll get into it now. And, Samantha's got a horse on top that is 7-5 on the morning line, and Ford Attitude it's going to be a short number, going 6 on a fast main track here. 3 and up or 4-year-olds, which have never won 3. Your tag is 8. And, Ford Attitude had a very, very short number in here.
Yeah, and you mentioned a lot of these horses today. When you look back at their last odds and you see their odds today, this horse has not been a price like this since last year.
No.
But the race 2 back was good.
The race 2 back wins. The race 3 back might beat this field too. And this is a horse where you just look at those 2 races on the dirt, and that coincides with, Lasix going on as well. He just looks better than this kind of group. You're going to go to the outside. Norfie's got try in him, I'll give him that, but he usually finds 1 or 2 better.
Yeah, always. Just kind of rounds things out.
Right, and the same thing with Modern laying down on the inside. He's stepping up today off a 2L win. The rail could be a little problematic as well. Late pick 4 kicks off in race number 6. We'll go a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta, $35,000 maiden claimer. I guess this is one of your top choices that you lost. The 3 Ragtap Girl is out.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a look at my late 4 ticket. I was fading her, but she was the last horse I used in my ticket here. So I'm going 5 deep. You can see I have no opinion at all in here. I have actually no opinion in the first 2 races, as I'm given a 5x4 double on a $20 ticket, and then the single always was a single of Great Venezuela. It was a very exciting Tapeta filly for Victor Barboza Jr. That's a $20 late 4 ticket, and we'll get into it now because this is a very intriguing, deep, and competitive race where, I don't even have your top pick. She's the 5th horse that I used in my pick. Bella Carmelina, who you do scratch into, will try Tapeta for the first time for Mike Yates on what seems to be kind of a forward-moving form cycle.
Yeah, this is an interesting race because we'll talk about some of it in just a moment, but this was a race last week that was brought back. This was supposed to be on the grass.
Right.
And there were horses on here that I thought no shot on the Tapeta, but on the grass, send them. And some of it is one of those horses. Yeah. And that just goes to show, and we say that a lot, that not all the time it transfers over, that all Tapeta horses like the grass and vice versa. So Bella Carmelina, never been on the Tapeta before, but the good news is Mike Yates, I feel, he's sharp with these types of moves here, and I think that she's a filly that can take a step, like you said, take a step forward.
Yeah, and it looks like she's doing just that. It's only the 3rd start of her career, second start with Mike, third start off a long layoff. Gossiper, the 1 horse, is the newcomer to this field that was not in last week. So just take note of that. Tell Me Some Lies is my top pick. Another horse that didn't run that well on Tapeta on debut, but that was on debut. It was for Brian Lynch, who's great, but Brian's like 6% first-time starters.
Right.
So looks like a good claim for Joe Orsino because he really moved her up on turf last time.
Yeah, and that winner that day, Mama Kim, was a runoff winner for Doug Nunn, so nobody else really did much running. Yeah.
Right, and she was 8-5, by the way, that day, too. Let's take a look at some of it now for Lisa Lewis on a trainer switch. Christophe Clement had this horse during the championship meet.
Well, this is a filly that I was excited to play back on the grass, but she ran well here. She galloped out well. She was 3 wide the whole way around here with Joel Rosario aboard. So a lot of ground loss to be expected, and I just feel like on the grass, this filly looked a little bit down the road. And look at her gallop out, too. That was just a solid effort there. The Tapeta race, first time out, I get it was her first time out and it was against stronger competition. Right. It was horrible.
It was. Carrington was good that day for Team Delgado. We'll see. When you're in the 11 hole going a mile on the turf, you have no chance at all. No. And you saw why there. So we'll see. I think she's clearly in the mix for me as well. Clearly Copper, I think, with Nolan Ramsey and Ken Ramsey, so we're going to get bet there. Gossiper, I don't think you should sleep on her for Jen Young and Powder Pop off the claim because they said, we want to run in this race now. So you take note of that. We'll get to a late pick 3 at $1 base minimum, by the way, in race number 7. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. It's an $8,000 claimer. 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 3 races. It is clean, and we'll start to the rail. Raka Raka Cruise for Rohan.
An interesting course. I'm curious. I've got the replay for Saturday, but I'm interested to see. I don't think this horse was ever going to go by. I get it was a DQ. No. Luna Warrior just drifted
19 to
out.
1, by the way, Luna Warrior.
Yes, it took the lead and just kind of drifted out. The jock kept hitting left-handed. The horse got tired, drifted out. Rocka Rocka Cruz was the only one there. Rocka Rocka Cruz got elevated for first, and therefore now the non-winners of 2 lifetime condition is gone. This is a tough ask now.
I couldn't agree more, and now we're on the rail as well. Luna Warrior, I might look like a fool on Saturday. I think I made her 8 to 1 because I don't know where that race
I'm not sure.
came
I think
from.
she got brave on the lead there.
She totally did. I don't believe in that race either. So that's kind of sort of another reason why I said, you know what, I'm going to play against her a little bit. I have Midnight Chaos on top. I don't know. These Aubrey Mirage is clever. I have no idea why or where the race came from last time. Maybe it was the apprentice weight. I've mentioned Elijah Greenridge in a limited sample. I feel has done good work. Let's just break running and take a deep breath. I know it's a class rise, though.
Yeah, it is. And I kind of felt like he tripped out a little bit, just on the rail. No one pressed that day, just easy. I don't want to say they gave it to him, because there's no such thing, but will you get that easy of a go this time? Let's
take a look at Truth and Honesty and our old buddy Warlord Cruzan, who's kind of sort of maybe finding his form again, and that's a good thing for him. I think both of these horses are players. Truth and Honesty for Jose D'Angelo, we'll talk about in a second with Gabadoon with a big run at Royal Ascot. But, yeah, he ran well.
The difference between Truth and Honesty and Warlord Cruzan in this spot here is Truth and Honesty has had more time between races. Warlord Cruzan came back again to run on June 7th. And that's a quick comeback here. Truth and Honesty, I felt ran very well. I like the spacing. Warlord Cruzan to me is a horse that is kind of tough to take back again.
Yeah.
Short rest.
Gets Lionel today.
That's a good
no disrespect at all to Trejo, who's done a solid job. Gets Lionel as one of the best we have here. Race number 8 kicks off the late double. We'll go 5.5 on the Tapeta. These are 3-year-olds or 3 and up, just 3 and up. Never 1, 2. 25 is a tag. Couple scratches here. The 4 Split Strike is out. That was a late one, right? Kind of, sort of. And the 6 Wine Empire is out. And you are on Lieutenant Stan, and you're going to show everybody why.
Well, there's not a whole lot going on here except the fact that Jobran was good. Now watch Lieutenant Stan here, because it was truly, like you like to say, they're off, you lose.
Yeah.
Boom. He's the one.
And it was a merry-go-round race, too. So.
Yeah. Jobran just took the lead and nobody came back. You can't be on the rail and be in this position here. And now you see him. He was playing catch-up the whole entire time this race, was not going to get past Jobran, but I think he would have been a heck of a lot more in play would he have broke from the starting gate. And when you're in the 1 post position, Brian, you stand in the gate longer than everybody.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yep, horses kind of sit back on their heels a bit and just kind of wait. You're loading in the rest of the horses. Now what are we? We're the 8th horse in the lineup. You're the last to load. You kick them and you go. And now let me tell you, when you're the 8th horse in the lineup of an 8-horse field, you better be tied on and ready, because they kick it quick as soon as you get loaded in the gate.
Well, I mentioned the last race. We got a big move here today. Now Edwin Gonzalez is going to get aboard, and I've said since day one that I think Edwin rides at Tapeta as well as anybody. It is go time for Lieutenant Stan today, no doubt, and he's definitely someone you've got to use. 3-0 for me. Okay, so this is another brought back race. Zio Lorenzo was my best bet last week. He's not even favored this week. Now 3-0's got. He's like the winner's version of Barry the Builder. He's 1 for 26 with 11. That's pretty good, right?
That was good, yeah.
With 11 underneath finishes. He's just been facing so much better.
Yeah. He's got to really show something today.
Yeah.
If not, he's like got the little H word in him, the hang in him, because 3 on the Tapeta, all 3 second place finishes.
Yeah, no, I hear you. They're just better races than everybody else.
Way better.
I guess, we'll draw a line through the dirt race, and Zio Lorenzo certainly figures, and now he's in for a tag for the first time as well. And at least on paper, I think he's the main danger. Let's get to the finale now. 5.5 on the Tapeta. It's a starter, optional claimer. These are 3-year-old fillies. We do scratch the 3 Gallop Hermes and the 7, your top pick, Warda. We were going to have a huge favorite in Great Venezuela. You scratch into her. Boy, she's an exciting filly for Victor Barboza Jr.
She is, and there was nothing to show on the replay
No, I mean,
other than her just running off completely.
By the length of the stretch.
Yeah, quite literally. She was impressive. Where did that come from? Not sure. Was it
Right.
the cutback? It wasn't the Tapeta, because she's always been good on the Tapeta, but she just has found a new gear. I don't know. Can she come back to that?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't think
That's
she
true.
has to be quite honest
Right.
with you. She's just been unbeatable on Tapeta in that race. Took it to a different level. We will show you Vindicate Cha-Cha,
Yeah.
though, for Mike Lerman. Oh, boy, what a run Mike's had. XY speed and the like. This was a good effort last time, and this was much better than the other effort for a quarter.
Well, you had her this
Yeah.
day. That was a great long shot pick by you on Sunday as well. Congrats with your long shot there. See, I was so ready to unload on Warda today, because Warda was not going to get beat by Vindicate Cha-Cha again. I was 100% sure of that.
Right. No, she was going to get beat by Great Venezuela. but-
Exactly, yes. Vindicate Cha-Cha ran well here.
She did, actually.
Yeah.
The problem now the reason I didn't put her in second, I do scratch into her in second, because this has got the Vindicate Cha-Cha is going to try to win the race, and she's probably going to lose. She could lose second because of it.
Right.
Because she's going to be chasing a 1-5 horse around the track,
Right.
and you might pay the price in the lane, and maybe somebody swoops it for second, but I just can't see anybody beating Great Venezuela, especially after the scratch of a horse that was a player.
Exactly.
For sure. All right, let's take a look at the lightning round here. 9-race Thursday card. We always start with the standings, so we'll run them back here quickly. Nothing's changed, and that's going to kind of be the MO going forward as well, because Edgard and Safi Joseph are just kind of sort of down the road. Here's Edgard, 15 up on Miguel and Edwin, and Amicio, who's going to be was over at Royal Ascot. We'll get him back this weekend. We'll talk about that in a second. So, there's your leader and the 4 underneath, and then Safi, as well as kind of distanced himself.
Mm-hmm.
But there's Jose D'Angelo, a comfortable second now, and of course, I think that's a good segue. We'll go right to international there, because Jose D'Angelo brought Gabadoon over to Royal Ascot. What an effort this was.
Yeah, this was huge.
Yeah.
And I was worried because there was a lot of rain in the forecast.
Mhm.
It subsided. It was a good to firm going ground. You see the gray on the rail there. He ran huge. He beat
really
the gate. But this is just one thing. We might not have as superior grass horses as the Europeans do, but what we do have is gate speed.
Yeah.
And he broke so sharp like a quarter horse, and just did what he did here.
Yeah.
Just kept on going and was just beat by somebody out the back. It was a great effort.
Second year in a row now, Gulfstream Park, winner of the Royal Ascot qualifiers, went over and ran well. Of course, Crimson Advocate won there
Right.
last year for George Weaver. She didn't run too well the other day, but that's not the point at all. Congrats to Jose and the team. That's a big deal, too, for him. And,
Yeah.
a young trainer like that, people are starting to take notice, and that's certainly going to do it. So well done there. Amicio Jaramillo aboard there as well. And, of course, mandatory now on Saturday. If we can get there, 2 racing days left, but we're speculating, prognosticating. That's a word. It's got to
Okay,
be. 4 million, 4 to 5 million. I've
I've
got the over. I know Pete's got the over as well.
I've literally never heard that word before. We're going to need a dictionary.com. I'm not saying that it's not a word, but it sounds made up.
Can't wait. The
This is gonna be
TPs are
huge.
out. The
Yep.
morning line has been finalized.
Our picks are
Our
online.
picks are online. That's true. Ron's got the ticket. We're going to have videos, all of that kind of good stuff. So get scuffing up those PPs. I'm excited. I can't wait. You got nothing to add here?
I don't know.
My best bet has been embarrassingly not good.
But your long shots have been great.
Yes, Ford Attitude. I'm trying to get a streak breaker or something. It's been terrible. It really has. But my long shot, I think the ROI on my long shots at the Royal Palm meet is like 420.
That's awesome.
So I don't know. But there she is, Mrs. Bradstreet. She'll be a proper price in there as well. That's it. Pete's upstairs. Happy to have you aboard. 4-day race week kicks off with a bang here in about 22 minutes.